All right. Hey, everyone. We will get started shortly as everyone comes in. As you're coming into the room, a couple things. First off, go into the chat and make sure you change it from host and panelist to everyone. And then tell everyone where you're zooming in from today. Hey, Andy, how are you?
Andy's zooming in from Seattle.
Yeah, where you at right now, Andy? Spokane, Washington.
Oh, that's where
Spokane, Washington. Yeah.
How's the weather up there?
Rainy.
Haven't been outside yet, but last night it was cold.
All right.
It's awesome.
We got
Very
some
cool.
from Ontario. Awesome. New York, Orlando. Wow. South Carolina.
Mr. Josh Boatman, I'm promoting you to a panelist, so you should get that on your end.
Got some Florida. All right. Cincinnati.
Oh, Fort Worth, Texas.
Joe T. Garcia's. That's what
That's
Fort
our
Worth reminds
favorite.
me of.
Are we gonna go? We're in Ohio right now, which is where I live. Linda's up here. We had our leadership academy in our region, and she's here seeing mostly me, but also, my kids, that too, I guess. So anyways, we're getting ready to fly down to right after this Zoom, we're hopping on an airplane and flying back to Texas. So I'm excited to get back in the great state of Texas for a little bit.
All right. We got Cincinnati.
Good. Okay. Very cool. Josh, how are you doing?
Doing good, man. Doing good.
How was your command training?
It was great. We went a full 2 hours. We covered smart plans, campaigns, designs, just a lot of great questions, and talking I don't know how y'all do it all the time. Talking wears me out. Like, y'all are phenomenal.
Yep, that's funny. Okay, so what I want to know first is all of you hopped on this Zoom for a particular reason. Obviously, we're teaching a presentation today on how to recruit over 100 people into KW in 1 year. Okay, so what I want to know is put in the chat, what are you most excited about learning more on this Zoom? I want to make sure we kind of get a list running and we answer that while we're on our Zoom together today. So just put in the chat, what do you want to know?
Recruiting skills is what someone said.
Okay, recruiting skills, how to become more influential recruiter, to be efficient and purposeful with time. That's really good.
Garbage, how to recruit.
Yeah, day-to-day tactics.
Okay.
Quickest way to recruit. Cool. I'm 99 people short of 100 this year. Awesome. Reggie, we're going to get you there.
Reggie, there's hope.
Opening scripts, recruiting events to attract multiple agents at one time, how to manage the time involved. Awesome. So here's what we're going to do. How not to come across as a recruiter. That's really good. Okay. So here's the thing. Here's what I'm going to talk to you about. In order to recruit 100 people in a year, first off, it's a lot. Very few people in our company currently do it. As of this last year, I want to say, trying to think how many people did it this year. Do you remember, Josh, looking at the top sponsoring report? Was it just two or three? I
feel like there was only two. I thought it was, Nick and
Brent and Nick. Yeah, cool. Yeah. Okay.
I think there was one that was like maybe in the 80s.
In the 80s, yeah. Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah. So in order to do that, it requires for sure efficiency. It's a system at the end of the day, because recruiting 100 people is a lot about having enough conversations and having a process to put people through in order to do that. So, we're talking first level. We're talking first level, not your whole tree.
First line.
First line. So, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to show you how to do it. We're going to talk about it. Talk about the system that we set up with my friend Nick to actually be able to recruit over 100 people a year. And then we're gonna unveil some really exciting news. And then at the end of that, what I want to do is leave a little bit of time for Linda. We've got, first off, hopefully you all know Linda McKissack, #1 profit share earner in our company. I want to leave some time. That's yours. I want to leave some time today for you to ask any questions you have of either me or of Linda, specifically around recruiting. whether it be productive agents or predominantly new agents. So,
And Julia said 4 people did 100 or higher. And then
There you
someone
go.
else wants to know, how do you drive traffic there besides Indeed, just by the way?
yeah, love it. Love it. That's really good. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and jump in. I have a little short presentation that I will pull up. Okay. Can everyone see my screen? Okay.
We're seeing the
great.
presentation view, Press.
You are. Okay. How do I change that?
Presentation
Swap
mode.
display. How about
Yeah,
now?
there we go.
There you go.
Okay,
Yep.
cool. Hey, look, Josh, I am techie. I can do tech things without you here.
You just don't need me anymore.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, so here's the thing. Josh, Andy, I will not be able to see chat while I'm going through this. Actually, I might. Let me see if I can pull it down. There we go.
That's why you
Okay,
need-
cool.
why you need Chris.
I do have chat pulled up so I can see people's questions and comments. Awesome. Okay, all right. So let's go ahead and walk through it. So how to recruit over 100 people per year into KW. This is the formula. Okay, this is the formula that we've personally used and had great success with over the last 4 years that myself and Nick have had in being able to recruit this many people into the company. And so I first want to give you the formula, then I'm going to kind of break it down and walk through the different pieces that are important if you want to be able to recruit this many people per year into KW. So the first part of it, I'm going to kind of combine the first two because they go hand in hand. The first is having a website. The second part is driving what we call traffic, or, as we say in KW, leads, driving people right to the website to actually inquire and move into the next step of the process. So about 2016, beginning of 2017, myself and my friend Nick wanted to learn about profit share. Obviously, growing up with Linda, you hear it all the time. So we were like, okay, how are we going to do this profit share thing? Who's doing it at the highest level today in the company? And when we looked up, there was a guy by the name of Brent Mitchell. And Brent, if you may or may not know, he's out of Austin, Texas. And at the time, he was and still is today the #1 sponsoring person into our company. This last year, he sponsored over 200 people into his first level, which is just mind-blowing that you can actually do that. So he was gracious enough to have a call with Nick and myself, and he showed us what he was doing. And essentially, he had a website, and he was driving leads to his website from all over the country. And then as soon as they would sign up on his website, they went through a sort of this automation process where they were getting email follow-up from him, prompting them to take the next natural step in the process for them. And then they would schedule a call with Brent. Brent would hop on a call with them. He would have a recruiting conversation, typically 20 to 30 minutes long. And then he would pass them to a market center and to a team leader. And that is what he was doing. And he was doing it. I think at the time, he's probably having between 4 and 8 recruiting phone calls per day. And he was actually doing it essentially full time and had been for a number of years and built up his passive income. So we took that process. So I can't say I came up with this formula. It's just literally what we learned from Brent. But we went back and I helped my friend Nick, who's in my first level and Linda's second, build a website off of WordPress. And then we started driving leads to that website from job posting sites. And then we built automation. I had been doing some research into online marketers at the time and was learning about what it looks like to build a relationship with someone you've never talked to over email. And so I applied those principles and some of what Brent told us and some of what I had learned into building out sort of this automation sequence on the back end of our website for people to go through until they were ready to schedule a call with Nick to do a recruiting call. And then from that point, we set it up. So Nick got inquiries for people to hop on a call with him. He'd hop on a call, he'd recruit them, have a conversation with them, and then pass them to a team leader. And I want to show you that. And that's essentially the process that we've done over and over. So this is Nick, by the way. I talk about him all the time, but I realize I never really show who Nick is. So he kind of feels like a fictitious person. This is Nick and his much, better looking wife now. Doesn't she make Nick look really good? Yeah, she does.
As most wives do.
That's right. Yeah, so this is Nick, and he, for the last number of years, focuses predominantly on recruiting. And we've been friends for quite some time. This is his down. I want to show you the actual numbers over the last 4 years. So when we built it all in 2017, he really started a little bit in 2017, but his first real year of doing this was 2018. Through using our process that we built, he recruited 79 people into the company. In 2019, he recruited 100. In 2020, he recruited 133. And then 2021, this last year was like 165. And so it's kind of just gotten better and better as the pipeline has matured more and as he's gotten more efficient and kind of better at his skills. But what I wanted to show you, though, is that the process works. Frank, I see your question. This is a gross number. Okay, so here a couple things. Number one, the strategy I'm talking to you about right now is predominantly new people. Now, Nick has gotten a number of productive agents who've actually reached out on the website that he's helped recruit into the company. But for the most part, because we're advertising on job boards and driving leads to our website, it's predominantly new people into the industry. And I'm curious, do y'all know what the attrition rate is in real estate? Like if 10 people sign up for real estate, how many do you think make it through the first year? How many make it out of 10? Okay, a lot of you are saying 2. So yeah, that's right. 8 out of 10 don't make it. Now, I would tell you though, in KW, it's a little bit better. KW, it's more probably like 70% get out. So our training's good. We have great systems, great processes. Plus we have things like teams to position people for. So it's actually a little bit better inside of KW, but that's right. There is an attrition game to this, but guess what? At the end of the day, it's a numbers game regardless. And so a number of these people are going to get out. A number of them are going to stick, and a number of them are going to turn into productive capping agents. And so I want to show you, because the first thing is understanding, like, okay, you're telling me about this process. I get that. Okay, it obviously works. We've seen Nick's numbers and it's going up. Let's talk about what that actually looks like. And yes, this is only his first level. So I'm about to break down his profit share for you, which I thought this was pretty cool to kind of go through with everyone on the call today. So this is Nick's profit share statement. I pulled it today. The first thing I want to show you is look at the red box. So you can see 2018 is really the year he started really getting profit share, and it goes up from 2018 through 2022. Now go over to the green box. What I want you to look at is the year-to-date growth. What do you notice about Nick's year-to-date growth since he's been focusing on profit share? Put in the chat, what do you notice from 2018 through 2021?
Doubled or more.
That's Lynn, you got it. Exponential growth. I want you to look at that. His first year of really doing this, he made almost 9,000. That's good. It's not amazing, right? No one's life's changed over 9,000, but look at every year since he's been doing this. 9,000, almost 15,000, 32,000. And then he broke the $50,000 mark. And this last year, he broke the 100,000 lifetime earner mark inside of our company through profit share. And, a lot of people say, Linda, what do a lot of people say to you about profit share? Like, if I would have gotten in.
Oh, they use it. The number one limiting belief that people have is I should have got in earlier because I can't make as much. I can't make profit share. And he's making way more in his early years than we did, way more.
And that's because our market share is more profitable.
Yeah.
Right. And because he's actively focusing on.
He's treating it like a business.
That's right. Yeah. So Lynn said it took me 13 years to hit 100K. Yeah, Lynn, that's great. Even that's amazing, right? But you look at what Nick's done with the focused effort, and it's led to really fast results. And again, remember, you and Jim talk about this all the time, but how much money would you have to have in the bank?
Oh my gosh.
To make 50,000 in truly passive income? Well,
I think it's a 1.5 or 2% right now you can get on your money, or somewhere around in there. I mean, you can do the math and figure out how much money you'd have to earned, taken out taxes, had left over to put in the bank to do that. It'd been a lot. It would have been a lot.
That's right. That's right. So now what I want you to look at is go look at the purple box. Okay. The top left. What I want you to see is 12 months ago, start on the right-hand side, 12 months ago, Nick had 182 people in his first level. he had 10 in his second, and he had 2 in his third. Okay, now fast forward to February on the left side, he had, he's grown it to 231 on his first level, 18 in his second, and 3 on his third. Because here's the thing, profit share, what we tell everyone is you focus on the first level and what happens over time. Put in the chat, if you focus on the first level, what happens to all the other levels over time? Goes deeper. That's right. It goes deep. Here's the thing. You don't worry about that. That comes, it grows. It just, yeah, you guys nailed it. That's right. It grows. Time does the part of taking it deep. Nick's just focused on the first level because he knows that through coaching with Linda and looking at other top profit share earners, if he just focuses on level 1, the other parts take care of itself. And you're seeing that happen over time. Now that will build out more and more and more. And the more that builds out, what will happen in Nick's profit share over the next probably 20 years at KW is he will at some point likely make more money from levels 5, 6, and 7 than he actually will make from his first level. But he's so focused on building first level right now. And it's so early in the process that time will build it deep. The other thing I want everyone to realize is this is not a get rich quick process. This is I'm going to grow incredible passive income, but I'm going to do it over time. Okay. So this isn't like, I wish I could say, you know, Nick recruited for 1 year and made $1 million, but the reality is that's not how this works. This is a time on task thing, just like any true wealth building plan is. And so, but here's the thing I want to challenge you. If you're going to be in KW for a career, what if you did this while you were building a great business? And you looked up and realized, you know, what kind of passive income you could have. But again, even 50,000 in passive income in less than 5 years is an incredible thing. Would everyone agree with that? Put yes in the chat if you agree. 50,000 in true passive income in less than 5 years. Okay, cool.
Absolutely.
All right. So I want you to see the proof. Proof is here in Nick's numbers. Now, let me walk you through our process with how we've done this. The first thing we've done is after Brent talked to us, we went back, we built a website. Then we went to the #1 job posting site in the country, which is Indeed.com. And we started posting ads on Indeed. And I think at the time we probably spent maybe $5 a day on average to post a national job ad on Indeed that just always runs and never stops. We then would get applicants to apply on Indeed. We would take those people and then we pushed them, which is where the next step in this, which is we would send leads to our recruiting website. What you're seeing below, launchintorealestate.com, is the very terrible recruiting website that I built. It's ugly. It does not look good. And it's the best I could do. So don't make fun of me. Okay. It
works.
It works, but it's not pretty. So we send recruits to our website. Now here's one of the key strategies that has made what we've done really, really unique. When we push people to our site to basically register, we make them self-segment themselves into the category of where they are in the process. Does everyone see the 3 red buttons? Okay. Notice the 3 red buttons says #1, not enrolled in school. #2 is enrolled in school. And #3 is a licensed real estate agent. Okay. That's really important to our process. The reason for that is how you talk to someone who's not enrolled in school is not the same way you talk to someone who's enrolled in school, right? I put in the chat, what do you think's the #1 objective of someone who's not enrolled in school? What do you think's the #1 thing we talk to them about in that process? Put in the chat.
How to get enrolled.
That's it. Get enrolled. It's all about the next step for you is to sign up for classes. And we talk to them about that process, and we sprinkle in some other things too of value. I think, Josh, you've been in the back end of my system and seen that we've got built out probably like 6 months of drip campaigns on a probably weekly basis just to add value and always, but the call to action always remains the same, right? It's always pushing people to get enrolled in class because that's the next step for those people.
Yeah, absolutely. Depending on how they self-segment, yeah, like we definitely we try to provide as much value to tie them to you. And then interlaced with all those emails, we have call outs within the emails and then specific emails that say, hey, you know, just checking in, how's your search for school going? Or if they're already enrolled in school, you know, how's the scheduling of the test coming? Reach out if you have any questions to kind of still keep you in relationship as they kind of go through that journey.
Yeah, that's right. So once they self-segment, they start going through, you can see the next part I have here, which is all those emails. I couldn't take a good screenshot of all of our emails, so I just picked a random photo. But essentially what we do is we automate through our website. It automates about 80% of the process of the follow-up, because the reality is there is, at least what I have found, not a true way, an easy way to buy back your life. If you're recruiting 100+ people a year, you have to have some sort of automation built in to take away a lot of that follow-up work. And so we automate the 80%. So literally, this is what Nick does every week. Every week, he basically has 2 jobs. Well, maybe 3. Number one is I go on Indeed and I send people who've applied to my jobs. I take them and I push them over to my website. The second job is I look at my calendar to see who's scheduled calls with me for the week to talk about moving forward with KW. The third thing he does is he looks at who he's already had calls with and who he needs to follow up with, people that he's like set up with a team leader, and he's just doing some follow up to make sure that they're getting across the finish line and actually joining KW. That's essentially the process. So we automate 80%. Nick hops on a recruiting call with them at the right time, and then he refers them to a market center and grows his downline. That is essentially the process. Now, here's the challenge. I've been teaching this now for probably almost since we did it. So I'd say the last 2-3 years. And the number one question I get, or the number one challenge I have with hopping on calls with people, is that most people don't actually go and build what I've built. And put in the chat why you think that is. Why do you think 99% of people have not done what it is that I've just shared?
Time.
Yeah.
They don't understand how to do it.
That's right.
Don't know
Time
how.
consumption, don't know how am I going to build a website, all the blah, 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 all the things, right? And they're all very valid things. And so at some point, Linda and I were like, what the heck are we going to do? Because we want to help people build a profit share, but most people aren't willing to do it. And so Josh, who works with me, actually came in one day and said, hey, Pres, what if we could build what you and Nick did? What if we could build that for other people? And I said, well, that's an interesting thought. So Josh went to work and spent probably about 6 months behind the scenes building out what I'm excited to share with everyone today. And I'll stop sharing my screen, which is that we have officially built personal agent recruiting sites with all the automation built in on the back end for people to partner and to do what Nick's done without having to build it. And so I'm really excited to officially share that with everyone. So Josh, why don't you pull up real quick and show them what you've been hard at work on the last 6 months.
Somebody's asking how you did.
Robin said it's taken me 6 years. It's a lot. I mean, I will tell you guys, it's the process of building a website and then connecting and then doing all the automation, all the stuff. It was a lot. Josh, the good news is we had already built the stuff. So Josh just leveraged what we knew was best practice in working and put it into something which we can now roll out to anyone who wants to do this. So we've tried to drop the barrier of entry of being able to do this significantly. So Josh, show them what we got.
Absolutely. So hopefully everyone's seeing my screen and you're going to see our demo site. If you guys want to explore the demo site, please feel free to do it. We'll drop the link in the chat, but it's demo01.kellerred.com. And basically, as Pres mentioned, what I basically did was I took the process that Nick and Pres had kind of perfected over the last couple of years, and I kind of just made it look like it wasn't circa 2016. So
hey now.
But basically what we've done is we built a clean site that has been designed from the ground up to be mobile friendly and just fast. The one key goal with this is to try to work on as many devices as possible and just honestly just be fast. In this day and age, people don't want to wait for a site to load. So we've erred on the side of caution of getting them in front of the site into the right spot as quickly as possible. What you're seeing here initially is just the main homepage, but kind of as Pres's presentation mentions, this is not the page that you're actually going to send people to with your Indeed recruits. So we'll jump into that page in just a second, but real quickly, as we kind of go through, one of the things we try to do is definitely show the value of what it means to join Keller Williams. So we have pages that link to our culture that talks about KW Cares and just, why culture is so important. We have pages that talk about the training opportunities at Keller Williams with videos on Bold, Ignite, and even what MAPS coaching is and how that can improve your life. And then, of course, my favorite section is we talk about the KW technology, the things that we're building to just make every agent's life busier or easier, and just get more time back in their day. And of course, we just have a couple of real nice teaser videos. Like here's a great video that Mark King has done, the president of KWRI, that just talks about how there's limitless possibilities, as well as just a frequently asked questions section on that main page that hopefully answers about 80 to 85% of those new questions agents come across. This is stuff that, Pres and Nick have added to throughout the years. As they've gotten multiple questions, they've added, and we've provided all of that to you. In addition, just kind of show people, and actually, hold on, let me hide this real quick. We also have a different front end, just if you're curious, so this is just our first front end. If you want a different look, we built a separate look as well that we can kind of lay out. This is just a little bit more, probably not as modern looking. If that is something you're interested in, it's the same page, same information. Once you actually get into it, just has a different look and feel. But the most important page, and probably the key to the success, is the Join Keller Williams page. So this is going to be the page that you will drive your recruits to from the Indeed ads or other, ad sources. And this is where they're going to self-segment where they are within their real estate journey, right? Are they a licensed agent? Are they enrolled in school? Are they not enrolled in school? And depending on what they do here, will kick off the automation. So first things first, always talk about the licensed real estate agent. There is actually no automation that goes out to this. If someone fills out this section, you get an email, you get a notification. And our intention is that you are picking up the phone and you're reaching out to that licensed agent. As Pres likes to say, that's a hot lead, right? That is someone, we don't want to be sending them emails about joining Keller Williams. We want to be picking up the phone and talking to them about, how to leverage Keller Williams and, set up that appointment with that market.
Put in the chat if you guys know what a come list me is. You know what a come list me is? Put yes in the chat if you're familiar with a come list me. That those leads that hit your email, it's like, oh, I got to come list me call. I'm going to call them right away. That's what those are.
And then with the enrolled in school and the not enrolled in school, depending on what they select, we ask purposeful questions. So for instance, enrolled in school, we actually have a section here that says, hey, how close are you to scheduling your real estate exam, right? So it kind of gives you an indication on how close you need to be with that particular agent. And of course, if they're not enrolled in school, we just capture their additional information. And once again, this kicks them down that automation path, depending upon where they are in their journey, either pushing them towards school or reminding them to reach out to you once they schedule their test. And then in between, just the value of Keller Williams. And I think that's one of the most unique things that Pres and Nick have done, because it's just not a, hey, join Keller Williams, join Keller Williams. A lot of the information we provide is just how they can improve their chances of succeeding in real estate, right? Pres kind of mentioned earlier, right? It's, 8 out of 10 people make or fail, right? So this is how we kind of just provide value to them. So to kind of give you an idea of some of the things we do, Pres and Nick and Anna actually had written a book, an ebook that they were providing for free called 6 Steps to 6 Figures. And this is a book that now you get to provide to your potential recruits. And it's completely white labeled. So it looks like you are actually providing this value to them. And it's a book that they can flip through and kind of read the journey on, hey, how to get to 6 figures in that first year, right? In addition to this book, we also have how to get your commission in the first 90 days, as well as a guide on how to build your first simple business plan.
Hey,
so
Josh,
just a lot of really cool things. Yes, sir.
Josh, on this with like the value pieces that basically Nick, I built a lot of it. Nick had some input. Anna helped me a little bit too. But the reason why we did this stuff and gave it away is because Linda has always taught me that you give into the world and you'll get more back than you ever give. And so what I have found with, especially with building relationships with people that I've never been on the phone, like I've never talked to them before, and I'm trying to build a relationship so that when I do talk to them, they kind of feel like they know me or that I've helped them. We just built value and to give it away. And so that's like what we've done here. What we're trying to do is find ways to create value and just give it to people. So by the time they hop on a call with you, it is, we've warmed them up. They're ready. They feel like they know you a little bit. They feel like you've really helped them on their journey. And it leads to a much more likely chance of you actually being named a sponsor for them.
100%. And so one of the things that we kind of especially do within emails to try to drive people back to your site, if they're curious how to become a real estate agent, we actually will send them to a page that lives on your site and where they can kind of select which state they're in. So say, for instance, they go to Ohio, they'll go to the specific Ohio page where, depending upon what choices you've made, whether you're in a relationship with the CE Shop or Real Estate Express or K-Score, depending upon availability, they can easily get driven to Real Estate Express, or if they want, their local state's real estate commission. And I think that's one of the things that I'll kind of stress to everyone. We have it set up in such a way that as real estate commissions change amongst states, we're going to get notified, and then we can make sure that they always have the latest up-to-date information from the Division of Real Estate within their state themselves.
Okay. And Josh, you got to tell them the coolest part about Real Estate Express. It's my favorite part of the whole thing.
So what's really cool with Real Estate Express, especially, they actually have an affiliation program, and we can provide you some information to get in touch with the right person at Real Estate Express to sign up as an affiliate. And basically what that means, people that sign up for those online classes through your affiliate link at Real Estate Express, you have the ability to make 20% back in an affiliate bonus. So what's really neat about that, as we were kind of building this, I actually asked Pres, I said, hey, out of curiosity, how much money did you and Nick actually make through this? And so we recently logged in, and last year they averaged about $200 a month in affiliate kickbacks, as it were, for driving people to Real Estate Express. So, I mean, that's just such an amazing thing.
What's cool about that is, I mean, that, and what we're showing you will pay for the site a lot more. And then you take that other, whatever, you take the rest of it and you pour it back into your ad spend. So it's like, you're basically you're doing what you can to try and zero out your spend so that this costs you nothing to do per year. Does that make sense? It's a pretty cool process.
And then the other really neat thing that we also do, so we have a calendar that we help you set up every step of the way. That is a calendar for them that you drive them to, for them to schedule that 15-minute discovery call. And if you choose to include the K-Score option for those states that offer K-Score, for those of you who don't know, that's the Keller Williams School of Real Estate. That's the free real estate school that Keller Williams is providing in certain states as of right now, that they can click, and then they're going to see your available time slots depending upon what schedule you set to schedule a call with you. It's so funny. We've been doing this now, I think almost 2 weeks. And one of our top people that have been using the site since day one for the last 2 weeks, Agni, I was talking to him and we were having a conversation. He kind of said, so what do I do what do I do? Like, I have people signing up there. He's getting notifications that they're signing up, and he's like, what do I do next? And I told him, I said, the beautiful thing about this is you do nothing. You just wait for them to start to schedule the calls with you. And then you're just checking your calendar and your email every day.
Yeah.
And it's great. He's actually had 2 appointments since then, since we launched the site 2 weeks ago.
It's awesome. In the chat, who would love to just have people sign up to have recruiting calls with you, and all you had to do was just show up? Put yes or me in the chat. Or what about real estate? What if people just scheduled calls with you to talk about real estate, right? That's the beauty of this process, is literally you're not out hunting for people. Yes, you're doing the ads and you're driving people to your site, but the automation is doing the hard part of nurturing them until they're at the right point. And then those people are then scheduling a call with you based on your availability. So you're actually plugging it in with your calendar. And Josh, I think it also syncs with Google, right? So it's actually should pair back to their calendar.
Yeah, we can set it up. It'll sync with your Gmail calendar or your Office 365 if you want to kind of designate blocks. And what's really kind of cool, and we kind of have a video that dives deeper into what your calendar options are, but you can kind of limit the number of appointments you have each day. So you can make more time available, but as you're kind of still building your real estate business, you can sit there and say, hey, I only want to take 4 or 5 a day. And once those are scheduled, it blocks out the rest of that time. So you can still focus on building your business while still growing your downline.
Yeah. What's cool about this is, here's what's cool about this. We didn't just build this on like, hey, we think this would work and it might be a cool idea. We built this on best practice. We built this on it works. We know it. At the very least, I know that this can make you the number 2 best recruiter in the company. I cannot say it will make you number 1 because somehow Brent Mitchell is he is the GOAT of sponsorship, but I can at least say that it could make you number 2. Okay. But it's just like, we built it with best practice. And what I can tell you is that Nick has on average I think it's like roughly 4 recruiting calls a day. If you had at least 4 recruiting calls a day over time, it will get you in the 150 potential range, which he was at 163 last year. And then you can pare down to what you want. It doesn't have to be 4. You could do more than 4. You could do less than 4. It's your choice, but I can tell you that 4 on average can get you over 100 people a year, Monday through Friday. Awesome. Andy, will you drop in the link, the URL for the site where they can get more info if they are. And by the way, you guys are the second people to hear about our recruiting sites, which we just rolled out. So we have, Josh, we officially have what, 27 people that have joined in, 28?
Yep.
Yeah. So
we just got 2 more orders actually. So we're at 30 now. So we're at an even 30.
Cool. Very, very cool. Well, we've got our first 30 people in. If you guys are interested in getting more information about how to do that, go ahead and just click the link in the chat, and you can get more information on how to sign up for that. You'll notice on there that there's 2 options. One is the website with automation option. The other is no automation. I do not recommend the no automation. We gave that option on there. And honestly, I went back and forth on, do we even offer it? Because I don't want someone to not do this if you know,
they won't make the automation.
Yeah, if they just don't want the automation. So you can get the front end site, but I would just recommend, if you're going to do it with the automation, because the automation is proven to work. And then in terms of the pricing, just so y'all all know, the site plus automation, what we're doing is $50 a month for the site plus the automation. And then there is a one-time $250 setup fee for Josh to do the work, because what's unique about this is this isn't like signing up for a generic website. This is your site. And so you have the option to, number one, use your own URL, use your own logo. And then on top of that, the email automation has you built into it. And so there's specific things that we've built in to try and get the recruits to bond to you personally, because that's an important part of what's worked for Nick.
Does it link to K-score availability? Or
Josh, do you want to talk about K-score?
Yeah, absolutely. So if you choose to do the K-score availability, what we do is we do monitor that. So as states have K-score available, we will update your site to include that as an option. So what's really great about that, if you want to dip your toe into the K-score pond, as it were, for the states that have that available, we can definitely make that happen. And then you can still use your Real Estate Express link for those sites that K-score is not available. So you're still collecting that affiliate bonus. Or if you just want to do the Real Estate Express everywhere, you can do that as well.
And I will tell you that, in all truthfulness, this automates 80% of the process. Here's what it does not automate. Does not automate the front 10%, which means that you've actually got to go on Indeed and set up an account and post the ad to run. And it also doesn't automate the back 10%, which is the recruiting call itself, and then turning it over to a team leader. I can't automate those parts for you, right? I can do everything in the middle, but I can't do those 2 sections. However, the first 30 people that signed up, Josh and I realized very quickly the pain point was, hey, I've never used Indeed before. I don't know how to do that. And then on the backside, how do I do a recruiting call? Like, I've never really done that. You know, what's best practices? So we did a couple things. Number one, we have, Josh, talk about the 2 contacts that we have for them, one for Real Estate Express and then one for Indeed.
Yeah, absolutely. So to make this process easier, we have a contact with an Indeed rep that you can reach out to that will help you every step of the way of making sure you have your Indeed account set up. We'll walk you through the process of running that national ad that we recommend versus a local ad, but you can definitely do both. And then we met with Real Estate Express, and we have a specific contact person there to kind of escalate that process of you getting signed up as a Real Estate Express affiliate. The 2 key things to remember, though, we highly recommend you have to use these 2 contacts when you go to sign up for either account to get the best pricing available and service level, as well as to make sure that the affiliation links work in a timely fashion. So that way, you know, you can start taking advantage of, especially that Real Estate Express 20% as soon as possible.
Yeah, I want to answer Robert's question. Robert's asking about competing for Indeed leads. So first off, I recommend Indeed because it's the largest job posting board in the world. I would recommend you go do some research on how much leads they actually get, because it's a massive amount. Like they are, in terms of a lead generation site for job postings, they're the largest by far. They generate an incredible amount of leads. So I would not think of it as like we're all competing for the same leads, because to be honest with you, your job postings, we run a national ad and it goes all over the country. So your ads are going to be kind of running in different places all the time. I'm not sure how that algorithm works on their end, but you're not all going to be like, hey, all of our ads are right next to each other all at the same time. It doesn't work that way. It's all over in different locations, posting all over the country at different times. And so there's no, like the only, I guess technically, like the only competitive advantage one of you may have is if one of you tries to spend a little more money. It won't mean that you'll beat the other person. It just means you're going to show up more often. Right. Okay. So that's how they work. So I always recommend, one of the best practices we've found is between $5 and $15 per day. I think right now we spend about Nick and I spend about $15 per day. And that is not that much money in the grand scheme of things for us to be able, especially with what we're getting back from Real Estate Express, to sign up for, for real estate school through our link. And so it,
Is Real Estate Express in Canada?
I don't know, Kim, if it's in Canada or not. That's a good question. We're working, to be honest with you, we rolled this out and we did not initially have, like, our first plan was just get it out. We've had a bunch of people from Canada be like, hey, can we get it in French? Can we have solutions for Canada? And we hear you. We will do everything in our power to try and as quickly as we can accommodate for Canada as well. Cause obviously that's KW has a great presence there as well. So we will work on that on our end, but I do not know if Canada has Real Estate Express or not. But even so, even if you don't have that, you could still push people to your, the
Online schools.
online schools that you have, and or just in general for how people can get information for local real estate schools.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Put any more questions you guys have in the chat. But I do want to let Linda have a few minutes to kind of talk about recruiting productive agents as well, and not just new people. So put your questions in the chat if you have any more about recruiting 100+ people, the new agent style. Linda's going to talk to us about using influence and recruiting producers. So Linda, kind of turn over to you.
Well, a couple of you asked in the very beginning, how do I start a conversation? How do I get in a relationship with them? So, we actually have an online course called Profit Share Mastery. And in there, we teach you, Pres does his segment on all of this. I do a segment exclusively on existing agents. And we give you everything from the script, how to start conversations, the questions to ask. But I'm going to kind of give you the formula so that you have it. So the formula is this: relationships. What realtors that are in the business already do you typically love to help? Who would you love helping with their business and never get tired of it? Who do you help in your current marketplace? What do you teach in your current marketplace? What do you need to be doing for your own business that if other agents got to be a part of that, that would build validity for you? I always say, how many of you would like to have gone on somebody's listing appointment with them, or sat beside them while they prospect, or sit with them while they did a career visioning course? Anything that you do already for your own business, you can learn how to invite other agents along, and you create beholdenness and reciprocity when you do that. So the formula looks like this. And Andy, you might type this in there. Capital R for who do I want to be a hero to? Who do I want to put on my list to recruit? We recommend no more than 5 people to start that are existing agents. Relationship plus what is my validity? Because people aren't going to give me the time of day if I'm not valid. But you don't have to just use your validity. Matter of fact, everybody has validity, but nobody thinks they do. So what could you use in the company? Like right now, a great thing to use validity wise is the shift book. Markets are shifting and agents are filling it. Do a shift book club. We teach you how to do a mastermind book club, all those things that would be ideas that you could generate to get in relationship with other existing agents. And then what's their value gap? So capital R plus capital V plus another capital V is what is their value gap? What's their biggest hole right now that they would love for someone to solve for them? And once you start the conversation and you find that out from them, you just start dropping things into that value gap, creating reciprocity and beholdenness. And then eventually, none of us are good enough to make an agent join. We don't make sellers sell or buyers buy or agents joins, but what we can do is help them self-discover that what their value gaps are, Keller Williams can feel. And so once they discover that, that's when they join Keller Williams. So we do that by dropping little things into their value gap. And then when the relationship is deep enough, we'll ask them to take a big step, like maybe come shadow me while I do my prospecting calls, come sit with me while I do career visioning if they're trying to hire someone, go on appointment with me, come to a class with me, go to family reunion, go to mega camp. Those are all big steps. And when we build a relationship deep enough, these people will say yes. And that's where they self-discover who Keller Williams really is and whether it can actually help them solve their value gaps. So we teach it all. If you're not, how many of you, I'd love to hear from those of you. Is there anybody on the call that's already in our Profit Share Mastery? Also, once a month, once you've gone through the Profit Share Mastery course, which is about 4 hours, I think, Pres, you actually jump on our monthly calls, and we do a call every single month, and we help you keep moving forward on existing agents or new. Yep, Kim, we see you there. We always see you on our calls. We're happy to have you. So, you know, those are the way. You just got to keep Profit Share top of mind, wouldn't you say, Pres?
Yep.
And I love, you know, I don't really love recruiting new, so that's why Pres has a passion for it and he does it. I love recruiting existing agents. So I'm going to do what is exciting and fun to me. And I think you're going to do the same thing, but there's nothing that says you can't do both, especially if you can automate. And everybody ought to find somebody in their downline that is doing what Nick is doing for Pres. If you just found one other person in your downline, if you don't even want to do it, but found one other person in your downline for them to do it. But anyway, our goal is to get more people into Profit Share. This is a great gift that we've all been giving. Nick is living proof that it's not too late. So we just have to keep it top of mind, pick a focus and go after it and treat it like a business.
Yeah, that's right. And really, I think, like Linda said, here's what I think is going to happen, especially with the new age, especially for people on this call. I think there's going to be a few of you that are really smart and you're going to see this. Wow, now we have this way with new people in particular to be able to recruit at scale and not have to build all the things. And so you may look up and be like, hey, I don't want to be the person who does the calls, but I do have a person in my downline that I think would be really good. And I'm going to go partner with them. And
or one of your staff members. I mean, how much stickiness do you need for your key staff people for them to not be building their downline, and they'd be in your downline, and then they could do that and help build their downline.
And it may not be one person. Maybe you go find 5, because remember, your first levels, you get 50%, second level is 10. So maybe you go find 5 people that are going to go do the recruiting, and then you just kind of help partner with them and support them in that. So I think there's a lot of cool creative ways that people are going to use these. And then with the new agents, Linda, it's at the end of the day, it's no different. I always say it's no different than a relationship, like a dating relationship with someone, right? I think a lot of us walk up to people inside of KW. We're so excited about Keller Williams. So we'll walk up to agents and we'll just kind of throw KW up on them. And that's not the right process. That doesn't work.
No, it doesn't work. And I want to just ask all of you this. How many of you have had your life changed or enriched by Keller Williams? And I hope every single one of you would say yes. So my question to you is, then why is that enough lives changed? If your life was changed, why should we stop changing other people's lives? You're really building wealth while you're changing people's life. So once you think about it like that, and you get a system to follow, a way to start conversations with people, ideas to keep people engaged with you, either masterminds, book clubs, just in conversations and dropping things into their value gap, you will really begin to realize it's just nothing more than building relationships. And this is the same formula I use to build a 200+ transaction a year business. So you use this formula for whatever you're going to go build.
Yeah, that's right. And you know, hopefully everyone on this call knows this already, but Linda and I are very committed. You know, Profit Share has blessed our family tremendously. I mean, Linda was your profit share last year?
Almost 1.4 something. You should know. You probably know better.
Yeah,
than
I know.
do.
It's like
almost 1.5.
Almost $1.5 million in 1 year. But my wife Anna and I made 28,000 last year. And for us, I got 2 little girls, a 4 and a 2-year-old. And they're the cutest little things in the world right now. You know, last year was the first year that I actually put our profit share towards something. And so I said that, hey, Anna, our profit share is going to go towards our kids being at the best daycare in our area. And so if you've ever heard of Primrose, they do a great job. They typically have like a year wait list. But we have them in Primrose Daycare, and it's expensive for 2 kids, very expensive for 2 kids. And I think, last year our profit share covered the cost of sending them there. And so this profit share is a gift. And Linda and I are firm believers that it's something in our company that we talk about, but we don't actually help or teach people how to do it very well.
Yeah.
And we're going to change that. So we're committed in the long term between our course, between our recruiting sites, and between our podcast and our monthly calls. We want to be your profit share partner and help you guys. So hopefully you're feeling that and like never feel like, I hope you never feel stuck in what to do next in terms of profit share. We're trying to do everything we can to really help all of you on that.
Right. And Walt asked this question: what are some ideas about starting a book club? Really, the ideas about starting a book club is you don't have to have, I go at 60%. I don't have to have 100%.
Here's your first book. It's called Shift.
Yeah, Shift.
In the market we're in right now, I highly recommend Shift.
Yeah.
Because here's what Gary said the other day. He said, number one, if we do shift, you're all going to thank me because you didn't lose your butts. And if we don't shift, you're all going to thank me because you're going to be making way more money and taking more market share.
Yeah.
So I would highly recommend, in terms of a book club, why don't you start with Shift? That'd be a great book to start, and go out to some key agents that you are interested in building a relationship with and get to know them.
Yeah, I'd make a list, maybe a few above your production, a few below, a few right at your production, if you don't know who else to put on your list. And then I would just say, hey, have you noticed that the market shift, our average set days on market's gone from this to this? Sometimes it takes years to fill a full recession. How many of you would like to join me, and let's get ahead of this market shift that feels like it's coming, and just see who signs up. And then once they come, go through chapter by chapter. And what I do when we do the masterminds, which we give you the full blueprint of the mastermind in the profit share course. And one of the key things that we did there is we just wrote on a flip chart, what were some of people's issues? Because I want to find out what people's value gaps are. So I would put up on a flip chart and say, hey, what's some of your biggest challenges or fears around a shifting market? And those would be my topics. And I would, every chance I get a chance to show them things and tools that Keller Williams has without always talking about Keller Williams, so that they self-discover themselves that, oh my gosh, Keller Williams can prepare me so much better for this.
Yeah. It's great. Are there any, you guys have access to me and Linda for, the next 8-7 minutes? And do y'all have any questions, comments, thoughts on either anything we've covered today or profit share in general? This is your time. So what can we help you with? Just so y'all know, my daughter's shouting to the door, I need to go potty.
So we're like, go tell mommy, go tell mommy.
It's real life stuff over here.
This stuff can't be made up.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. And somebody's wanting the Express affiliate link or whatever, Robert.
Oh yeah.
So
let me talk on that real quick. So whether it's the contact for Real Estate Express or for Indeed, as soon as you sign up for the sites, we actually have a members area. So you will get a login where you can go and log in. We have our recording of our Zoom we just did recently, where I talk about the recruiting call and how to do that. And then we actually share with you kind of like what your next steps are. One of them is getting familiar with Indeed and getting that set up. So we share that contact with you in there. And then the other one is setting up a Real Estate Express affiliate link. And we have a contact for you there as well who can help get you set up. So really what we try to do is take away the pain points we felt with the first 30 people. So none of you will have that. And then also Robin asked, how do we use our own existing domain? Josh will help you set all that up.
Yeah.
And so all you have to worry about doing is purchasing one and then giving it to Josh, and then Josh will connect with you to do the work from there.
And somebody asked what would be some ideas on doing an indie. Follow the same formula I just told you.
Just to be clear, an indie brokerage, meaning an independent brokerage.
Yeah.
That's not what
You'd follow the same formula. Relationship is indies. What's my validity, or what validity can I use, and how do I start that conversation? And we always like to say a compliment, because nobody ever gets enough of them. Nobody minds a new one, or asking their thoughts or input. Start that conversation, and then find out what their value gaps are. And then if you're going to do an independent, you got to make sure you get with the OP of the office they'll be affiliated with, because you'll have to work out the terms, and every term is different. But I would just follow my same formula. Get in relationship with them, build that beholdenness and reciprocity stay with it, ask them to come to something big, and then follow, once they start asking about KW, then you kind of follow up. Okay, do I need to get into this picture now that I've got them to this point? And that'll usually be an OP or team leader with an ND.
Those conversations are really fun with an independent brokerage owner, because their pain points are, especially if you're on the brokerage side, you kind of get what their pain points are. And so those conversations are a little higher level in business conversation. So definitely do it in partnership with your market center leadership in that area. But it's really a fun conversation. The best way to get in with those is all about the relationship. So I would try to find out who knows the owner, and who can help you get in the door, who can help you have a conversation with them.
And don't start the conversation about KW. Start it about them. What's their value gaps? Where do they need help? What's a challenge they have going on? Always make it about them. It's never about Keller Williams. And if you bring Keller Williams into the too soon, and it's not going to work unless they start really pushing you about KW. Don't even bring it up until they start pushing you about it.
Yeah. Josh, do you want to answer the question on what does a URL look like if they don't want a custom domain, they want to use kind of the partner with what we have? Let's talk about that.
Yeah, absolutely. So what we do is we give you the ability to select your own subdomain off of our host recruiting website domain. So for instance, I could be josh.kellerred.com. So Josh is the subdomain, which you get to pick as long as someone else hasn't already picked it. And then your actual website would just be that.kellerred.com.
Yep.
And Nick says, who would be the next point of contact of a market center if I'm not getting a response from the team leader? I'd call the OP. I'd call the operating principal. Yeah.
Yeah. And I assume you mean, Nick, that you have probably a recruit that you need to get over to someone and you're not getting a response. Yeah. I would call the OP.
Because sometimes the team leader's changed and it's wrong in the white pages or something. So call the operating principal.
Yep. And just say, hey, I've got a new agent recruit I'm trying to get to someone, but I haven't been able to get a response. I'm not sure if I have the wrong number or the wrong person, but who is in charge of new agent recruiting? Who can you put me in touch with?
Yeah. Yeah.
Never just text a lead. We did a Zoom, which once you sign up, if you sign up for site, you'll get access to. It's really good Zoom we just did with our first group that have joined in on the sites, where I teach best practice on like passing a recruit off and doing the recruiting call. There's some nuances there, and it's definitely, Nick, you're probably doing this a little bit. So, there's some challenges. There's you kind of bob and weave a little bit with passing off a recruit.
And are you doing this once a month with these guys when they do it?
Yeah.
So
yeah, that is a great point. For those who sign up for the sites, I am personally doing Josh is with me as well. We're doing a mastermind once a month about it. I want to make sure everyone who does want to do this at a high level, my goal is to help 100 people recruit over 100 people a year. Okay. So if you want to be one of the 100, sign up, and I will personally, on a monthly basis, Josh and I will be coaching and helping you to do that at a high level. So you guys get the support you need.
Yep. Awesome.
Hi, Andy. Guess I pressed the wrong button in May purchase
domain. Andy, if you can help Robin out, that would be great. Don't worry, Robin. We have to use Andy all the time to fix our stuff too.
It's good. Okay, you got 1 minute. What else do you want to know? Any idea, any thoughts, ideas, questions, comments? Yep. How are you guys? How do y'all feel? What are y'all's thoughts on the recruiting sites?
Yep.
Like them,
I think
don't
we've
like
already had
them.
some people already say they've signed up. I want one. Frank says I want one. Awesome. I
Good,
love it.
Frank.
I hope Frank's in my downline.
Yeah, it's awesome. Very cool. Very
All
cool.
right, good
and
deal.
We're gonna keep adding to it, make them better and better. And tech challenge. I get it. It was not fun. I think I slept in a laboratory for a month as I built our site, and it was not fun. So, yeah, that's right.
Awesome. Good
Very
deal.
cool.
Good to see a lot of you are signing up. That'll be great. Be sure and always take advantage of the monthly calls, just like we tell our members of the Profit Share Mastery class. Take advantage of those monthly calls because we can help keep moving you forward. And Glenn McWinney says hello. He's one of my favorites. Thank you, Chris. I appreciate that. But yeah, those monthly calls really add value and we love doing them. So make sure you're taking advantage of those. And then don't forget, we have a Profit Share Mastery podcast that drops on the 21st of the month. So you can't forget that date because that's the same date your money drops in. So be sure and listen to that podcast too. We're going to start to have guests and hopefully eventually some of you, we've already got some of our members from Profit Share Mastery course that have become guests because they've been doing so well. So we'd love to have some of your successes on our Profit Share Mastery
Which,
podcast too.
Julia, are you on? Are
Yeah,
you still
Julia
on?
was on. She said something out front shows us Nick is 163 instead of 165. So we're gonna
Oh
figure that
yeah,
out.
thank you. I may have, that was the team leader-ish in me where you kind of round up. So yeah, thanks for that. Actually, yeah, you're probably right on that. Probably was off by a couple.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Julia, we had her on our podcast, like Linda said, and she took our course, has been following the process manually we just got her set up for a site, which I'm excited about. She's gonna probably blow Nick out of the water now. But she recruited like 60 something people manually
without a website and automation.
So I just, kudos to you. You're a rock star. Keep it up. But yeah, if you have success stories, let us know. We want to feature you on our podcast.
And we do have people from Canada in our Profit Share Mastery course that are doing amazing. So you guys from Canada, we love you and happy to have you on board.
Awesome. Okay. Well, we love and appreciate each and every one of you. Thanks for being a part of our awesome community. And we're here to support you. So we will talk soon.
All right.
See you all soon.